it went really great. I was definitely put in some tough positions by Magda, especially in that second, so I'm really happy with how I pulled through.
I'd have to say maybe a little bit of Sania Mirza. Back in her heyday, obviously the Indian fans took to her and they followed her all around the globe, obviously not to this extent. And I think the ceiling that Alex Eala has is obviously that much higher.
Can a player ranked beyond the elite tier arrive in Madrid and immediately command the entire tournament before even stepping on court? What happens when practice sessions draw bigger crowds than actual matches and the excitement outpaces the achievements? And when expectations accelerate beyond results, does it forge a champion or reveal vulnerabilities waiting to crumble under scrutiny?
When you play, or even when you're training, do you know that there might be a 5, 7, 9-year-old Filipino that really looks up to you and maybe they want to be you in 10, 15 times, years time?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't thought about that yet. I try to think about when I was that age, 5, 7, the people I looked up to, Maria Sharapova, of course, Rafa Nadal. So, you know, I think it's a super important, you know, sometimes the first impression that you have of tennis is with the big players. And
Madrid had no warning that a revolution would arrive wearing luxury athletic wear and wielding a tennis racket. The instant Alex Eala appeared, this tournament transformed from a standard tennis competition into something resembling a royal ceremony that preceded any actual victory. What emerged wasn't typical enthusiasm or regular fan support, but something approaching a complete cultural shift that had veteran tournament directors quietly reassessing how one athlete can reshape an entire sport.
Never felt the power of community like this. So Alex lost the first set, but she came back in the second. And then down 4-0 on the third set, but still managed to win the game. That is grit. That's not quitting, even when it's uncomfortable. Watching that match reminded me that, you know, there's always a break coming, and sometimes you just have to be patient long enough to see it. And while everyone was cheering for Alex, you know...
The peculiar aspect is that statistically this phenomenon defies explanation. Madrid regularly hosts tennis aristocracy. Champions with multiple major titles, elite rankings, and decades of excellence documented in legendary footage. Instead, here arrives an athlete ranked beyond the top 40, entering the Caja Magica as though she holds ownership rights, while spectators react as if they've been anticipating her arrival for years.
Never expected anything like this, sa totoo lang, because syempre Philippines is not really on the map here 6 months ago. Nung nanalo si Alex and she's getting a really good world ranking, she's doing well in the tournaments, she's beating champions, she's beating world number ones. That's given it so much great exposure for the Filipinos out here. That sometimes nagtetenis, sometimes you know, parang mga barkada kasama, and then they go hit around. But now sometimes some of them will want to teach their children and hone their skills, so when they get older, you know, they might have potential, you know, reaching the same potential as Alex.
Here the narrative takes an unexpected turn that challenges conventional tennis wisdom. Alexandra Eala isn't simply attending tournaments anymore. She's fundamentally altering their character. Even before competitive play begins in Madrid, the atmosphere surrounding her training sessions already resembles a featured attraction.
What about these comparisons maybe with Leylah Fernandez? I mean, obviously in terms of your game, you're both lefties, you both sometimes take the ball early. Are you familiar with these comparisons, and how do you feel about that?
No, I'm not really familiar with those comparisons, but I think Leylah's a great player. Obviously, she did the final in US Open a couple of years back, so she's a trailblazer in her own way. I think I'm not so close with her. We've had a couple of interactions, but she seems like a nice girl, so...
She executes precise cross-court backhands under supervision from recognized mentors like Tony Nadal, who observes intently, occasionally providing modifications that are nuanced yet exact, the type that enhance not only stroke mechanics but competitive mindset. The practice routines are crisp, focused, and specifically designed for clay court play, emphasizing tactical patience, strategic angles, and measured power that indicates preparation for achievements beyond mere tournament participation. Meanwhile, the off-court developments generate even greater attention. Supporters aren't merely observing, they're coordinating their activities around her schedule. Philippine banners emerge in concentrated groups, sometimes in unexpected stadium sections, transforming venue areas into something resembling less of Spain and more of an international convergence point. And spectator involvement, which sounds diplomatic until you understand its true implications. It translates to ticket revenue increases when she competes. It means branded products sell rapidly when associated with her name. It means television ratings rise in markets that traditionally wouldn't follow early elimination rounds. Madrid, naturally, anticipated this arrival. They organized for her appearance like preparing for a marquee performer, not a mid-level competitor. Schedule modifications discreetly positioned her matches during optimal broadcast windows. Practice courts suddenly featured increased camera presence than typical.
Pacquiao.
Good call.
Manny Pacquiao, we saw him when he, was at the top of his game, and alongside Roger Federer, he actually had more prize money. So I think that if Eala, can keep doing well with her tennis, who knows? The sky's the limit on the court, off the court. I mean, she could be rolling in it, if you will.
Yeah, she's got a smile that lights up a room too, And I remember last year when she beat Iga Swiatek, and she kind of did it with a lot of grace and humility,
Tournament social media departments heavily emphasized her participation, because overlooking the energy surrounding Alexandra Eala at this stage would resemble ignoring a viral phenomenon. Still, beneath all the commotion, persistent doubt lingers, because her achievements don't completely justify the magnitude of attention. 12 months earlier, she stunned tennis with a breakthrough that defeated elite competitors and forced experts to reconsider her capabilities. Victories against premier players like Iga Swiatek and Madison Keys weren't simply wins, they were declarations executed with accuracy and courage. That iteration of Eala appeared destined for sustained excellence, yet inconsistency followed. Early tournament eliminations replaced extended campaigns, and ranking positions declined as rapidly as they were earned. Defeats, including a difficult loss to Karolina Muchova, demonstrated that tennis momentum is delicate, and one exceptional period doesn't automatically ensure continued success. Yet none of that diminished the cultural impact. If anything, it intensified the intrigue. The question evolved beyond Alexandra Eala's potential greatness to whether professional tennis is prepared for an athlete whose influence transcends her current ranking. This underlying conflict defines her Madrid journey, subtly influencing every storyline surrounding her presence. It's visible even in her preparation commitment.
But in the end, this is the job. The job is to be ready again, time and time again. So I'll work to be better.
Currently, my brother, recovery time is essential. Her drill approach carries noticeable intensity, an urgency suggesting complete awareness of the disconnect between public perception and competitive delivery. Her court movement appears more refined, shot choices exhibit greater discipline, and there's obvious commitment to correcting the mental lapses that have cost matches during crucial moments. This leads to the sequence everyone continues analyzing, the Linz encounter where she controlled comfortably before allowing victory to escape. It transcended a simple defeat. It highlighted that securing wins requires distinct expertise, the difference between talented prospects and reliable champions. Against opponents like Jelena Ostapenko, such instances become critical, because uncertainty receives immediate punishment at elite levels. Location after location, can competitive results match the cultural phenomenon? Because success would create massive implications. Her projected tournament path presents serious challenges. A potential meeting with Leylah Fernandez introduces not only competitive difficulty, but symbolic significance, a battle of shared cultural backgrounds and overlapping support bases that amplifies emotional intensity for every exchange. Both competitors recognize what this encounter represents, and neither will approach it as standard opening round competition. Following that, the challenge intensifies dramatically.
I think Eala is an absolute godsend for the WTA Tour. She's been brilliant for the publicity, for the profile, the interest she's creating. When we put stories on her on Tennis 365, she just absolutely explodes. She's a major superstar. The problem she's got, I think, is she can get a bit, possibly like Emma Raducanu, we could say that she gets to a certain point in a draw and then suddenly she comes up against a player who's physically bigger and stronger, hits the ball that little bit bigger, and she's just not quite.
Opponents like Jasmine Paolini and Elena Rybakina represent upcoming threats, each delivering experience levels and mental toughness that examine every element of championship tennis. This tournament structure reveals limitations rapidly, but simultaneously offers the potential to revolutionize a professional trajectory when successfully conquered. Madrid transcends typical tournament status because the entire city appears ready for her embrace. Since arrival, there's been undeniable enthusiasm in her reception. Supporters aren't simply reacting, they're building anticipation, arriving early, remaining late, and treating her competitions like essential viewing regardless of tournament stage. Few athletes generate this attention level that most experience only during career peaks. It establishes an unusual environment where every match simultaneously represents opportunity and examination, where pressure intensifies not just through rankings but through expectations that have expanded beyond her results. Still, she continues accepting this challenge, composed, determined, and increasingly conscious of what's required. Because underneath the attention, noise, and marketing discussions, there remains a competitor attempting to resolve a precise challenge. How to transform occasional excellence into consistent patterns. How to maintain advantages. How to finish matches when pressure mounts and error margins vanish.
For me, it was terrific to see her take that match and watch her play after that and watch her try to continue to progress, because I like her game. Obviously, she wants to get better than where she is now, the 32 in the world, but she's got a lot of good hand-eye coordination and ability to take the ball early and redirect. But the fan stuff is always fun for me, because whenever you see players from smaller countries, the fans are so passionate when they get it.
Madrid won't allow gradual development. It demands immediate responses. That precision creates this moment's compelling nature. If Alexandra Eala successfully balances her competitive performance with her cultural impact scale, discussions about her will transform instantly. Doubt will diminish. Debates comparing popularity versus achievement will settle. And what emerges will prove far more threatening to tour competition. An athlete who isn't merely followed but genuinely feared. Meanwhile, every match presents a persistent question. When scorelines tighten, when crowds intensify, and when moments require accuracy under extreme pressure, will she provide the execution that converts faith into conviction? Every tournament round brings attention, anticipation, and sufficient unpredictability to reveal hesitation. For Alex Eala, this combination either provides the ideal platform for breakthrough success or the most challenging environment to conceal incomplete game development. The audience that received her like championship material remains present, vocal, completely committed, but their energy now carries different significance because appreciation gradually becomes expectation. Once initial points begin,
admirable to see a youngster really step up to the challenge. It looked like she was fading away physically towards the start of that second set, but she fought back, and the fight is something that we're going to constantly see for years to come if she can just keep going on this momentum.
Yeah, she just has an amazing spirit. I mean, the way she fought through that match. And look, it's one thing to win a bunch of big matches in a row. You see the leg taped up. You see her playing a terrific player like Jessica Gould.
That transformation is understated but changes everything fundamentally. It's observable in rally development. Early in competitions, she performs with freedom, attacking balls aggressively, redirecting power with that distinctive hand-eye coordination that attracted coaches like Paul Annacone, who previously emphasized her capacity to absorb pace and convert defense into immediate attack. During those sequences, she resembles exactly the player who amazed tennis recently, the version that demolished elite competition without doubt. However, Madrid doesn't reward brief moments of excellence, then technical execution. This represents her development phase that everyone monitors carefully, because the capabilities are obviously present. Her forehand possesses depth and rotation perfect for clay surfaces. The backhand remains compact and dependable under stress, and her court coverage has developed where she can build points rather than simply respond to them. With guidance from established figures at the Rafa Nadal Academy, her playing style has been developed for sustained excellence, not temporary achievement.
Wise beyond her years, she's playing great tennis. She was a joy to talk to, and it's great, I think, for tennis that we have this completely new demographic. 5 years ago, I can guarantee you, when you were in the WTA planning meetings, the large contingent of fans from the Philippines coming out with their flags to matches was not part of too many discussions. But here they are, and here she is, and
Yet framework alone doesn't secure victories at this competition level. Performance during critical moments determines outcomes. Madrid has methods of forcing those moments into prominence, regardless of player readiness. The intriguing element is crowd reaction when those moments emerge. Rather than creating tense atmosphere, their encouragement often intensifies, almost attempting to carry her to victory themselves. It produces a distinctive dynamic where spectators see personal connection in her ascent, concerning a tournament that suddenly feels more significant because of her involvement. Madrid isn't simply hosting a competitor, it's hosting a movement that continues expanding with each match she contests. Nevertheless, the sport remains unforgivingly straightforward beneath everything.
We're not concerned about anyone else right now. It's Alex Eala time. This is Alex Eala's moment. Our days, our dinners, our evenings are fixated on when she's playing. That's real tennis fandom right there. Love it.
This is so great for tennis in general. I think having players like Alex out there, and she's so gracious to all her fans. She spends time with her fans, signs the autographs, takes the photos, and really just shows the Filipino community that it is all about the Philippines. And I still carry that flag with me no matter where I go across the world. And such a young woman at that has that wisdom of just what.
For Alexandra Eala, they symbolize something greater still. She transitions from being characterized as a phenomenon with promise to being acknowledged as a legitimate threat with evidence. The story shifts from intrigue to confidence, from possibility to inevitability. Tennis changes this rapidly. One powerful campaign, one sequence of controlled finishes, and suddenly the distance between attention and achievements vanishes. Until that moment, Madrid exists as a venue suspended between dual realities. One where she already receives treatment for tournament advancement. It concerns defining what the Alexandra Eala narrative truly represents. And as crowds rise again, more passionate than before, investing in every exchange as if it could provide the decisive moment, one element becomes undeniable. Madrid has determined its perspective of her. Now it simply waits to discover if she concurs.